Welcome to Friday Morning Dharma on February 16th. Please go ahead and settle into a comfortable meditation posture. And then using whichever method you find most effective, please allow both your physical body and your mind to start to settle and to rest. Give yourself permission this morning to go for refuge, to go for refuge to the tranquility of practice, to the safe space of practice. And when you're ready, in your own time, please go ahead and gently transition into meditation on the inner body. Become the silent observer of sensations that may start in your hands and your feet in the form of a tingling, perhaps a lightness, perhaps a heaviness, perhaps a pulsation. No analysis is necessary. There's nothing to figure out. No more information is needed. Simply be the silent observer. Hour after hour, day after day, year after year, the mountain simply observes silently. Snow may fall on the mountain, accumulate, and then disappear. A nearby river may rise and then recede. A rock may become dislodged from the side of the mountain, roll down a ways, and then come to rest in a new location. The mountain simply observes silently. No praise, no blame, no attachment, no aversion, no hope, no fear. Be like a mountain. Be like a mountain as you silently observe sensations within your own body mountain. You are not the mountain, and you are not separate from the mountain. There is no mountain, and there is no end to the mountain. Please gently redirect your awareness. Become aware again of this entity we've decided to label physical body, and allow your breathing to become less shallow. Taking deeper and deeper breaths, become aware again of the garments of clothing resting on the surface of your body. Become aware again of your surroundings inside this room. Allow your awareness to extend outside of the room that you're occupying. Become aware again of nearby mountains, of nearby continents, of nearby planets, of nearby solar systems. We dedicate all of the merit, all of the positive energy from this morning's meditation to world peace. May leaders of countries who are at odds with one another soon come to recognize that nothing is accomplished with minds of anger. Instead, may they solve their differences with minds of empathy, patient acceptance, compassion, and wisdom. And may we individually make the greatest contribution we can to world peace by resolving our own differences in our own lives with minds of empathy, patient acceptance, compassion, and wisdom. Completely fill up your belly and lungs with air, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes and bring your meditation to an end. Welcome back. Welcome back, friends. So I would like to revisit a story that I told. Some of you, I can't remember when I told it. I'm sure Nathan wasn't here, but it'll be kind of a refresher for some of you. The story that I told you about Venerable Sampton, a senior monk in the tradition, the meditation tradition that I was initially trained in. And Venerable Sampton was so revered, he was called Venerable Sampton. That kind of gives you an idea of the regard that people had for him. And what I shared the last time I told the story was that um, Venerable Samt, they would have, we would have we would have ceremonies or festivals, Dharma festivals, they're called. And the main teacher would teach in the morning, and there would be a review in the afternoon by kind of another senior teacher. And when I was there, the teacher was another monk who gave the review. His name is Lodro, Kelsang Lodro. And Lodro was kind of a comic. He would tell funny stories and give funny examples and had funny ways about him, which was important to keep people engaged in the afternoon when they would otherwise be inclined to, like, nod off. And so Venerable Sampton at the reviews was always in the front row, always in the front row, and appeared to be hanging on every single word that Lodro said. This despite the fact that Venerable Sampton had heard these teachings easily over 100 times. Whatever the subject was, I feel it's safe to say that he had received those teachings at least 100 times in the past. Almost certainly given those teachings over 100 times himself in the past. Despite that, despite Lodro, the teacher giving the review, despite Lodro being a junior teacher to Venerable Sampton, he appeared to be hanging on every single word, not blinking, just like single pointed focused on these teachings that he had heard 100 times in the past. I wanted to revisit the story about Venerable Sampton because I've been thinking about what our next topic is going to be for the second half of our classes, for our Dharma talks. It's kind of an interesting situation. We have an interesting combination of students in our Monday, Friday classes. We have some people who are joining us from the WIL program, Western Institute of Lifelong Learning, who might be relatively new to this stuff, to these teachings in particular, and to meditation in general. We've got people who went through this meditation program in 2022. So you guys, 22, 23, no, I beg your pardon, 2021. Some of you went through the training program in 2021, which means you're entering into your 4th year of study and practice. That's so wonderful. That is so amazing and wonderful. No more or less wonderful and amazing than you will newcomers. And then there are some other folks on this call who had been practicing before 2021 and and have even more experience than going into your 4th year. So back to my contemplation, what should we talk about next? We've kind of gone through the Four Noble Truths, and we'll continue as long as we have Monday, Friday classes. We'll keep coming back to the Four Noble Truths and all of the other topics. But for you who have some experience, and especially the ones who started in 2021 or 2022, I want to share with you something that my teacher said to me years ago, said to a group of us actually. Venerable Geshe Kelsang Gyatso said that to the teachers, he said, if you don't meditate, then it will be a year or so before your students know as much Dharma as you do. So a little bit of context for that. So the tradition I was trained in, they have Dharma centers around the world, and and they have teachers, resident teachers who teach classes there. And it was really easy. I mean, running a Dharma center involves a lot of work. So, people would get involved in the administration of the center, maybe taking care of the physical plant, kind of at the expense of their meditation practice. It wasn't uncommon for that to happen. Also, the teachers would study to prepare to teach. They would study the texts and spend a lot of time preparing and studying and reading for what they were going to talk about, oftentimes at the expense of their meditation practice. And it's not uncommon for organizations like that, but Geshe Kelsang at one point became concerned to an extent that he kind of talked to the teachers and said, if you don't meditate, if you don't maintain a consistent meditation practice, it will be about a year before your students know as much Dharma as you. And then kind of what he said was, at that point, will you still be qualified to teach? It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a threat. He wasn't, being mean or anything, just kind of stating it in a matter-of-fact way. Back to Venerable Samten. You might be wondering, how could Samten hear the same teaching over 100 times and still be interested, still be able to pay attention? How is that possible? The answer is that they weren't the same teachings for him. Because of his meditation practice, his mind changed and evolved, and with it, the teachings evolved and remained new and fresh. If your mind changes, then the externalities become new. It's subtle and important. Externalities can be everything from your partner to your friends, to your relatives, to your domestic situation, to Dharma teachings. If your mind changes, then your world changes, because the world is a projection of your mind. If you meditate, your mind will change, and thus your experience of these teachings will change. As I say, I was thinking about what were we going to talk about going forward here in this class, because when I sort of went through my inventory of Dharma teachings, for those of you who are going into your 4th year of these teachings, not that much new, air quotes around the word new, not really any new topics I have to share. We're going to go back and revisit old topics, air quotes around the word old. So, there was a time when I'd go for a class and we would get into teachings on karma or delusions or the root delusions. And I would be, we're going to, like, haven't we talked about the 3 root delusions often? Isn't? No is the answer. No. Because if we meditate, our mind will change. With a changed mind, the teachings change. They remain fresh, and we're able to go to deeper and deeper levels of insight. So please continue to maintain your meditation practice. A little homework assignment before we start our class on Monday, before we get to our class on Monday. me see if I can remember the homework assignment. Yes. This notion of me and mine, or I and mine, self and mine, M-I-N-E. This is my shirt. Please contemplate over the weekend, if you would, what relationship me and mine has to do with the root delusion of attachment. There's one of the three root delusions, the will folks. I don't think we've gotten into this yet, but there are three root delusions: anger, attachment, and ignorance. What relationship does the delusion of attachment have with me and mine? Okay, there won't be an exam, so you can rest easy and enjoy your weekend. Last thing I want to share with you guys is that I have been, over the years, a little bit surprised that there isn't more crossover between our Monday, Friday classes and our Saturday morning Medicine Buddha meditation. I'm not unhappy about that. My feelings aren't hurt, and I'm surprised, and just want to invite you to give the Medicine Buddha meditation a try. You can attend in person or you can Zoom in for that. It might be that the time doesn't work well, that Saturday mornings at 9 o'clock isn't a good time for a lot of people. It might be that 45 minutes seems like a long time to meditate. Maybe that a lot of you are watching the Zoom recordings from the YouTube channel. We get a lot of views of the Medicine Buddha meditations. But anyways, whatever, I just wanted to say that through Medicine Buddha meditation, we get a deeper experience, a deeper actualization of these meditation practices that we do. You might think, oh, Medicine Buddha, that means Buddhism, that means religion, that means I'm not interested. Yeah, Medicine Buddha is part of the Buddhist path, of the Buddhist realm, the Buddhist doctrine. Don't let that deter you. What this meditation is about compassion and non-duality. And we get a deep experience of these two states of mind, these two states of being through Medicine Buddha meditation. So if you've been reluctant to give it a try for whatever reason on Saturday mornings, I would encourage you to try it out. It's a very deep, very beautiful practice, guided all the way through, no experience necessary. Have a great weekend, you guys. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Joe.
Most welcome.
This is zero going to come the website.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, Jeff.
You're welcome, you guys. Bye-bye.